Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the week again. I'm excited today. Well, I'm excited to read One Piece for all of you and react to it, do my voices, my whole spiel, my secondary reason for basically doing this channel just to entertain all of you. But I'm also excited because the countdown has begun. Not only to Resident Evil 4, but to my birthday as well this upcoming Thursday. I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna relax, it's gonna be a great day, and we'll see where we go from there. So, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to more One Piece. We got questions. We got so many questions concerning who is this individual that's walking down the stairs towards Vegapunk that also shot Shaka in the face? And Shaka's down for the count right now. There's so many questions. That's where we left off. We left off with someone who's apparently wearing Dom shoes walking down the stairs after having shot Shaka directly in the face, with Vegapunk looking on with horrified eyes. So, let's see what happens in chapter 1078? Escape limit. Oh, snap. Okay, so remember in the last cover page, cover story, where Caesar and Judge basically surmise that, wait, the reason why we're fighting each other is because of Vegapunk. This is actually Vegapunk's fault. Well, there's a continuation of that, as apparently in Germa 66's An Emotionless Excursion, Volume 33, Caesar and Judge both form something called the formation of Neo-Mads. And all the people are cheering, like the soldiers are cheering, but Reiju and Ichiji just look so disinterested with this proclamation of Caesar and Judge joining forces. Caesar and Judge are joining forces to create their own brand new scientist group without Vegapunk. So it's going to be interesting to see what Judge and Caesar can achieve together. That's going to be interesting. But let's go ahead. Laboratory Future Island Egghead. Old man Kizaru? Why is Kizaru's name being brought up? How long has it been since Kizaru's name has actually been spoken? Not the person being seen, but someone just saying his name. We've been saying his name because we know he on his way. Your boys are like, ooh, Ashimoiro to ita hazda yo. Like he's just been this looming admiral. But his name has never been spoken, and it would be Sentomaru who says this. Old man Kizaru? Second floor of Building B, and we cut to Jinbei and Stussy, because remember, Sanji kind of abandoned them in order to go rescue Nami, and then talk about the Sanji Tushin. And I said Sanji Tuition when I said it. I'm sorry, I misread that. It's not Sanji Tuition, it's Sanji Tushin. Like the Constitution, Sanji Tushin. So Sanji's over where Nami is, helping her fend off S-Shark. But it's just Jinbei and Stussy. And Stussy says, that's right. CP0's mission is to eliminate Dr. Vegapunk and wait for Kizaru to arrive. The government sounds hell-bent on this plan. Indeed. They must see this as an even graver set of circumstances than Ohara. Think about that for a second. The Ohara scholars were completely eradicated, save for Robin, because they knew about the formation of they knew about the history of the world, and that's them just deciphering all this stuff. That's just them casually deciphering all this stuff. It took them years, but think about it. The world government sees Vegapunk knowing this information as an even graver threat to them than even Ohara. Indeed, they must see this as an even graver set of circumstances than Ohara. For one, Dr. Vegapunk has picked up and continued the forbidden research that doomed Ohara. And 2, Egghead has military power that Ohara did not. Oh. All those pacifistas. If Vegapunk wanted to defend himself for a nice long while, all those pacifistas would be perfect. And 2, Egghead has military power that Ohara did not. Enough reason for them to send an unexpected amount of force. Just call me directly if something happens. And then Sentomaru just goes shooting off in another direction. The Labo phase's communication systems are down. Then we cut to the Fabrio phase, where Sentomaru is... No, wait. That's not Sentomaru. That's Jinbei. I'm sorry. That's Jinbei and Stussy who are moving at breakneck speed. And the way it looks like Jinbei is like taking long jumping strides to keep up to, and Stussy, she knows Geppo, so of course she can just move around quickly. But Jinbei is easily keeping up with Stussy. Mind you, Stussy is part of CP0, the strongest people in the intelligence in Cypherpole. And Jinbei is just casually keeping up with her. The dude big, but he fast. So, it's not Sentomaru. Sentomaru is still sitting with all those citizens saying, like, we're probably going to have to pick up and go, because what happened on Ohara is probably going to happen here. So we cut to the Fabio phase. You heard all that? You want to know what you want to know what the Navy's going to do here? Look at history. You don't have time to sit on your hands, people. Everyone onto the ships. We've got to evacuate this island before the Navy gets here. Everybody do what Sentomaru says! And all the citizens just start to get all their stuff together because things are about to get really, really bad. Then we cut to the 3rd floor of Building C Laboratory. Usopp! Lilith! Because at that point, S-Snake has turned both Lilith and Usopp to stone, with half of Frankie apparently still unturned to stone. Now, mind you, all of his body is turned to stone except for one portion of his body. Except for like a side of his head and then a left portion of his side and arm. That's the only part that hasn't been turned to stone. Why, you snotty little brat. Undo this petrification right now. I may have gotten sloppy and lost my right side, but I still got my left. If you surrender now, I'll go easy on you. And then there's a clunking sound, and S-Snake looks over, and she sees the head of Edison moving around.
Oh, why have you done this, S-Snake? Who ordered you to?
And then it just... Wow. No, wait, that's not Edison. I got confused. I'm so sorry. I saw a little head and I immediately thought Edison because Edison has I saw a head and I immediately thought Edison. It's not Edison, it's Pythagoras. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Why have you done this, S-Snake? Who ordered you to? And then it cuts to S-Snake walking over to Pythagoras' head and we just hear a loud crunch sound. We just hear a loud crunch sound as she apparently curb stomps him. And Frankie's just screaming out, Pythagoras! And then there's a big explosion that is at the point, there's an explosion that I think S-Snake just blew up the whole area where Frankie and company are. Because there's just a big, no, that explosion is behind her. There's an explosion behind her. I'm trying to make it out. No, she's walking away from it. No, S-Snake blew that whole part. It's kind of hard to make out when you're looking at a shadowed body and they have wings. You got to make out what side of them has the wings behind them. But she basically blows up the entire area in front of her and she starts walking away. And Frankie gets caught up in it. Ugh, no! Hey, stop! And then it cuts to the 2nd floor of Building A with Chopper, Robin, and Atlas.
I hope everyone's all right. I keep hearing explosions and screams.
We know for sure that the Seraphim are fighting.
Gah, I don't get why,
says Atlas.
Well, if Nami screams, we know there's someone who will be there in a heartbeat.
And that's Chopper saying this.
Any Any team currently fighting will be locked in combat.
Oh wait, this Robin saying, any team currently fighting will be locked in combat. So while everyone is busy battling it out, something could be happening to Vegapunk in the meantime.
That's a good point.
And then Atlas,
That reminds me, there's one lab day we used in the past, but that's been locked up for a while. I don't know why he might want to visit such a place, but...
and then it just cuts to Robin and company saying to Atlas, let's go take Chopper going,
Let's go take a look then. Lead the way, Atlas. You got it.
and then we get to the 3rd floor of Building A. And it cuts to Nami holding Edison, and Brooke is just, having another out-of-body experience.
Hang in there, Edison.
Tell you what, I'll go search for Vegapunk. Huh? Ah, Sanji! And it cuts to, yo. Yo. Sanji. Ooh, Sanji. Sanji. Let me tell y'all while I'm hyped up. Also, if you guys want to read what I'm reading, go to the website of your choice or go on Viz. But as I always say, read the official, support the official release. Well, let me tell you why I just got hype. Brooke just seen Sanji get punched in the face, but Sanji is just standing there, and he takes the full punch, and it does nothing. Sanji gets punched in the face by S-Shark. Seraphim Jinbei, that has the full strength of Jinbei. He punches Sanji directly in the face, and it does nothing. You got to be... oh my goodness. Do you realize what this means? Sanji's durability has gone way beyond anything now. He's able to take a punch from a... and mind you, these Seraphim are monstrously strong. Like Warlord level strong. And Sanji just took a punch from Jinbei, a fishman whose strength is even greater than a regular human's, and he just takes it direct in the face. Just in the face, not on the forehead. This ain't Naruto, not on the forehead, but directly in the face, and it doesn't even show... It doesn't show anything. The dude is still smoking his cigarette. And Jinbei, I'm sorry, I'm getting caught up on this. We're not even halfway through this chapter. I'm sorry, let me focus, and then we'll talk about it after. And Sanji and this surprises S-Shark that his punch literally did nothing to Sanji. And Sanji goes, what would you know about the power of love? And then it cuts to, what would you know about the power of love? And then it cuts to 4th floor in Building A, where Zoro and Luffy are still fighting S-Hawk and S-Bear, with Zoro going, darn it, they just won't disappear. Those flames on their backs are stubborn. Huh? And then it cuts to Luffy going, hey, the flames didn't disappear. The flames won't disappear, but Hawkeye sure did. Huh? Where'd he go? And then it cuts to Lucci going, he's changed his assassination priority. We'll leave the troublesome targets for later and start with the weakest instead. And if they happen to be comrades, it will be the benefit of rattling the stronger targets. And that's when Luffy realizes that apparently, from what Lucci is saying, Hawkeye's S-Hawk is going after the weakest members, the weakest people that are out there in the lab somewhere. He's going after them first. And if they get taken out, then it's going to shake up some things for everyone else. And it'll just start to weed them out a little bit. And Luffy realizes this, and then Zoro takes off because he's going to face off against S-Hawk on his own. Yo, a little test to see if he's strong enough to take on Hawkeyes is taking on the clone of Hawkeyes. I couldn't think of a better test for Zoro right now after beating King. Literally fighting a clone of Mihawk. That's when we will see training. That's when we'll see some more, like, how strong is he? Is he, after fighting King, which was the strongest foe he's faced since Mihawk, how much further will Zoro go facing Mihawk's clone? Things to think about. Don't worry, I'll go after him. And then Zoro takes off after him. Zoro! And then Luffy looks at Kaku going, you have to go with him, Usopp. He's gonna get lost out there. He's gonna get lost right away. What am I, an errand boy? Wait for me, Roronoa! The fact that he looked at Kaku and just called him Usopp, since their noses are similar. He doesn't even get a nickname. He just calls, you have to go with him, Usopp! What am I, an errand boy? Wait for me, Roronoa! Gum. Wait! What did you call me? And then Kaku, while he's running off, just goes, what did you call me? Then it cuts to Luffy going, Gum, Hawk Gatling! Go out already, stupid fire! Use your head, Straw Hat. You're never going to beat him fighting that way. And then it just shows S-Bear getting punched all in the face. Then it cuts to the room that Bonnie has been in. The room with her father's memories. This has been a record of the events before the day of the famous Egghead incident, but its course was set in motion 3 months prior. Wait, what do you mean? This is the One Piece is someone telling us the story of One Piece. Cause you notice how these narrations say like this has been a record of the events before the day of the famous Egghead incident, but its course was set in motion 3 months prior. I wonder who's telling us this story of One Piece. But yeah, that's the narration. And it cuts to the room with Bonnie. I'm sorry if I feel like I'm taking too long to get to the next thing. It's just that these things just pop into my head and I gotta get it out before I forget it. But Bonnie is just sitting there in front of her father's memory bubble. And she's just knelt down, and she's just bawling her eyes out, like the waterworks just keeps go. Marijois! We're in Marijois! We're cutting to Marijois! No! Oda! No! This is important. Every single time Marijois shows up and it has anything to do with the elders, this is bad. Oh, we about to learn something. Okay, this is all narration. All of it is narration. 3 months ago, Sacred Marijois. I'm calling from Egghead. I want to speak to the ones in charge. Oh, wait. Someone is saying, I'm calling from Egghead. I want to speak to the ones in charge. And then it shows someone saying, Dr. Vegapunk is studying the Void Century. And then it cuts to Egghead during the time when CP5 was there. CP5 was dispatched to ascertain the truth, but found no evidence. Their ship mysteriously vanished after leaving Egghead. Subsequent agents were sent from CP7, then 8, but none of them returned to the government. This is Egghead. I want to speak to the ones in charge. After a discussion between the 5 elders and an unknown figure, the genius scientist's betrayal had been made clear. The elders made the call to have Dr. Vegapunk assassinated. Cypherpole Aegis Zero undertook the mission. But, anticipating a counterattack by Vegapunk, the elders chose to make a visit in person with Admiral Kizaru as protection. Reinforcements were requested from naval bases far and wide. The deployment made it clear that they were expecting war. Yo, this whole thing was orchestrated months in advance. Months in advance. Anticipating a counterattack by Vegapunk, the elders chose to make a visit in person with Admiral Kizaru as protection. I gotta read that again. Reinforcements were requested from naval bases far and wide. The deployment made it clear that they were expecting war. And into that situation sailed the ship of Straw Hat Luffy, Emperor of the Sea. Ain't it wild that the Straw Hats weren't even going to Egghead? Kizaru and company were already on their way there to see about the assassination of Vegapunk. And who happens to sail within the crossfire of the world government? The world government is not even concerned with Luffy and his crew right now. They were only concerned with getting to Egghead to make sure that Vegapunk disappears. Because he knows too much. But now the Straw Hats had got caught up in yet another situation. And into that situation sailed the ship of Straw Hat Luffy, Emperor of the Sea. The arrival of this unexpected variable unsettled the government, to say the least. And then it cuts to Akainu. What? Straw Hat? And it cuts to Luffy, who's in his Gear 5 state. And then it cuts to one of the other elders, the one with the super mustache, going, not again! But regardless, the resolution of this incident the following day would inflict a kind of shock the world never saw coming. And then we have the person who shot Shaka in the face walking down the stairs. Kitung, 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 kitung. Hey! Was this all you're doing? Answer me! And then this person just keeps walking closer and closer and closer to Vegapunk. And then the person walks into the cell that Vegapunk is in. Why would you do this? And he's just breathing there heavily. And then we see the shadow of this person standing over Vegapunk. Why is York there? It's York! It's York! How is she alive? No! Explain this! How is York alive? We saw her get turned to stone! Hold on. Let me read this panel. I didn't even read the words. I just saw her face, and she's crouching down in front of Vegapunk. Mind you, she's like she's a 9 foot tall woman, so she's very huge. Even kneeling down, she still towers over Vegapunk. She's like crouched down. Right next to him, she goes,
Hey, Stella, you know what? I'm gonna be a celestial dragon.
What did I'm gonna be a celestial dragon? Huh? Out of everyone thought to be the traitor, I never would have thought it was the one whose main function as a satellite was just eating, sleeping, and using the bathroom.
Hey, Stella, you know what? I'm gonna be a celestial dragon.
What nonsense is this, York? You went to Marie Joie years ago! And you really want to be one of those ghastly, horrid people?
Just what Shaka would say. If he weren't dead already. It's so complicated when everyone is Vegapunk. The world only needs one Vegapunk.
What? And that's the end of the chapter. We're not going on break. How is York alive? She was turned to stone. And then last we saw of her, she was enveloped in an explosion and she didn't fall with the rest of Frankie and the crew. How is York alive? Hold on. Wait, is the chat not? Oh, wow. I am so sorry. The chat has not been up. I am so sorry that the chat has not been up. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What in the world? Or she ordered oh, that's good. Okay, let me actually read through some of your comments. Good to see you. Kohagen, Ogata-san, Psycho, CJ, Ravi, Ozzy, Maureen. Love this channel. Ooh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sanji's eyebrow twirling change place again. When the Luffy calling Kaku Usopp comedy gold. It really is. Indeed, Oz, when the narrator starts foreshadowing, lets you know that something world-shattering is about. Foreshadowing and lets you know that something world-shattering is because it. Hello, Rengoku. Rengoku is my bestie. Good to see you. When the narrator starts foreshadowing, lets you know that something world-shattering is about to happen at Egghead Island. It really is. The bait and switch that Oda does is second to none. York is a traitor. Nobody saw that coming. Congrats to the people who said York. Celestial Dragon. I didn't see this one and paying attention. Even I didn't see what it is. I didn't. Questions. So many questions. Once again, the plot thickens. Yeah, I thought it was Edison till last chapter and switched to Saint J. Feel a bit dumb. Possibly she was a clone or she ordered Lil Boa to stone her and then unstone her. I thought she was dead a long time ago. I thought she was turned to stone and then she got enveloped in an explosion and we didn't see petrified York fall to the ground with everyone, so I just assumed that she was caught up in the explosion. You even see stuff get blown up directly in front of Hancock directly after she turns York to stone. So this whole time, everything that's been going wrong, everything bad that has happened on Egghead, the Labrio phase trapping everyone inside, all the security cameras getting shot out, all of the Seraphim following York's orders. It's the eat, pooping, and sleeping lady that's causing all this stuff to happen. I know that sounds a bit crude to say, but that's her function. She's the one who's behind everything bad happening to the crew right now. And since Vegapunk has the highest authority when it comes to Seraphim, like, did York just override them so that they don't listen to the rest of the satellites? Did she give an order saying, like, all right, you're going to from now on, follow my orders and you can't follow any other satellites but mine? Because the Seraphim are not responding to any of the other satellites when they're being told to stop. Fortunately for York, the world government ordered all the Vegapunks to be executed. I wonder if she knows that. I wonder. Oh. Okay. Now I think I understand how this went down. She went to the world government to tell them that Stella, the main Vegapunk, was looking into the Void Century again, continuing where Ohara left off. And I guess in return, they said that she could become a celestial dragon if she kept tabs on Vegapunk and kept relaying information to them. And due to that information, we got Kizaru and numerous possible vice admirals heading to Egghead to eradicate it on a far grander scale than the Ohara incident. So, in true world government fashion, they don't want anyone to know the history of the world. I wouldn't be surprised if they're getting rid of her just to, tie some loose ends. She thinks that she's going to become, they probably promised her that she's going to become a celestial dragon if she turns in Vegapunk. But, unknown to her, they probably set it up so that all the satellites would be executed so that there's not even a smidgen of a chance that any information about the Void Century gets transferred to literally anyone else. What's the best way to literally destroy the world's greatest mind? Get rid of every aspect of it. Not just the main head, but every part of it as well. Because they don't know if the Vegapunk has been telling them information about the Void Century this entire time. They don't know. All they know is that we need to get rid of Vegapunk. All of them. So it's like, I wonder if York knows that she's just as expendable as Vegapunk in knowing about the Void Century. I wonder. I honestly wonder. Because like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if the world government promises that she'll become a celestial dragon. Like it's going to be that easy. Like it's going to be that easy for her to just be claimed as a celestial dragon and she'll be welcomed by all the other celestial dragons. And they're just going to accept it. No. Hold that carrot in front of her face. Let her think that she's doing something to become literally a god of the world. And then just take her out anyway. It was right under our nose the whole time. York the Greedy. I was too caught up in her looks. Look. That went over my head as well. York the Greedy. And just seeing her eat food and sleep all day, you wouldn't have thought that York the Greedy would mean that she's so greedy that she would actually turn in her own satellite, her own fellow satellites, wow. Wow, that's an aspect of her that we really didn't take into consideration. When we think of greed in York, you just think of her eating a ton of food and sleeping all the time. But never once did we think that greed meant like her ambitions label her as a greedy individual. Because all the other satellites have personalities that are exemplified through their action. Lilith the Evil is always thinking of like, oh, okay, let's kill these people, let's take all their stuff. Literally evil thoughts. Then you have Shaka the Good, who's like willing to hear people out and think of the greater good of the world and everything, and just be good-natured overall in his own way, but he's still good-natured. Good thoughts. And then you have Edison, who handles all the thinking. His little personality is him just thinking and everything. You got Pythagoras, who's always like coming up with ideas and doing all the crunching the numbers. He's the numbers guy. That's his whole personality. Then you got Atlas, who's, what is it? The anger? Atlas. She's a more easily angered type of like willing to just go toe to toe with people. And then you have York, who's greedy. But at the time, none of us thought like greedy for power, greedy for more, greedy enough to make it so that she could be the only Vegapunk left. Not once did that cross any of our minds. That's how you know these are some well-written characters when you don't even put that into consideration. Oda has been having the traitor. Oda has shown us the person who's behind the whole matter of the world government coming to kill Vegapunk. CP0 and all the CP agents coming to question Vegapunk in front of us the whole time. And we thought nothing of her because we thought she was Carol from Tomo-chan as a girl. We thought, oh, she has a cool face. She's chill. She's nice. She's a giant woman. And it just we said to watch out for York and Edison. I forgot. Was that in January? I think that was in January. We said to watch out for York and Edison. I forgot. You was expecting Egghead turn Skynet. You was expecting Punk Records to be like autonomous and suddenly gain a mind of its own and then relay this information to the world government. No, Punk Records is safe. We don't have to worry about a Skynet situation. But we do have to worry about a York situation. York the Greedy has made her presence known. And we didn't think that York was that smart either. No! The unassuming appearance fooled all of us. Even though Ogata-san said, no, that was back in October. Oh yeah, I definitely don't remember that. I definitely don't remember that conversation. I definitely don't. I'm sorry, Ogata. I really don't remember that conversation all the way back from October. So it just makes this shock even more shocking. But her unassuming appearance helps solidify this air of airhead. Doesn't know what she's doing. Even showing her going right up to Seraphim Hancock and be all like, aren't you cute? And I'm thinking, York, what are you doing? That's not a good place to be. And we all thought that she was just an airhead whose purpose was to fulfill the bodily needs of Vegapunk. But none of us thought that she was the orchestrator behind the entire event that's happening on Egghead right now. This entire event would have still happened regardless if the Straw Hats were there. They just happened to be sailing in the middle of it. You can't trust anybody's appearance in this story. Because they could literally be, they could have any, Oda. Okay, Oda. Okay, Oda. I have this motto when it stems from watching Game of Thrones, don't get attached to anybody. I have this motto when I'm watching Attack on Titan, don't get attached to anybody. I have this motto when I'm reading through My Hero Academia, if the heroes are having a good bout of luck, then the villains are going to have a good bout of luck as well, and it just keeps flip-flopping for that series. For One Piece, do not judge a person by their appearance. That's the whole thing with One Piece. Do not judge a person by their appearance because you have no idea what's going on in their heads. They could look one certain type of way, and then later down the line, they pretty much orchestrate an entire war where Whitebeard gets killed. They could be so smart and they could be so unassuming at first glance. And then they turn out to be the orchestrator of the assassination attempt on the world's greatest mind. Do not be fooled by appearances in One Piece. That is my motto from now on. I had no idea. I didn't even have an inkling, because we were thinking I hope Shaka isn't the betrayer. I hope Lilith isn't betrayer. Anyone else we thought of, but York, the person who spends their time eating and sleeping and using the bathroom. So unassuming. So unlikely. And yet she's right there, knelt down, squatting in front, full spread eagle squatting, in front of Vegapunk, saying, there only needs to be one Vegapunk. The greed part of her moniker really coming in. York the Greedy, not Vegapunk, not Vegapunk York, but York the Greedy. Really, her moniker has shown up in full force today. Ooh, this is a good chapter. This is a good chapter. We've figured out, we've reached the end of the game of who done it. Who done it? York done did it. It's York! It was York. In the containment room with the flintlock. We've reached the end of who done it. And it was York. Okay, so let's just go over everything. Sanji coming out here just showing his superior durability, fighting a Fishman clone, taking a direct punch to the face, not even moving. The punch didn't even move him in that panel. He just gets punched in the face, doesn't budge, and he's just smiling, cigarette still in his mouth. The punch did nothing. Sanji has durability on par with a Fishman's level of strength. Because mind you, like I said before, a lot of these Seraphim have the strength of the Warlords when the Warlords were adults. I'm guessing Caribou was the one who messed with the Frontier Dome unintentionally, and S-Bear or S-Shark messed with the cameras. We don't know. We don't know how it all went down. York, the One Piece version of a homunculus. Homunculus? Is it homunculus or homunculus? I think you mean homunculus. Like, if you mean like the homunculus from Full Metal Alchemist, then yeah. We don't know if Caribou had any part to mess with the Frontier Dome unintentionally, and we don't know if S-Bear or S-Shark messed with the cameras. We don't know, but we do know York has been pulling the strings this whole time. That just blows my mind. Out of everyone, York orchestrated all of this. And not only that, but we have S-Hawk, aka S-Hawk, aka Seraphim Mihawk, who just took off. He's gone. He took off while they were fighting. He slipped away, and he's apparently going after the weakest individual first to kind of, rattle the cage and rattle up every other member at the moment. And Zoro's going after him with the help of Kaku. So, like I said, we could possibly be seeing Zoro facing off against a clone of Mihawk. Now, whether S-Hawk is as strong as Mihawk is right now remains to be seen. We know he's monstrously strong to the point where he sliced apart Amazon Lily's mountain. And even Blackbeard had to be put on the offensive by using armament hockey. So that was something that happened. Also, Blackbeard, back then, we didn't really mention it, but back then, Blackbeard's armament hockey is so strong it can block a sword strike. We didn't mention that before, but his armament hockey is strong enough to block a sword. Because when he left, he didn't have a cut on his arm. So that's just a minor thing, but it just came to me. When Blackbeard blocked that sword strike from S-Hawk, he didn't get a cut from it, even while armored with hockey. Interesting. But yeah, S-Hawk is going after the weakest member first, which, as Ozzy says, look out, Usopp! He's coming for you! But now we're probably going to have Zoro going up against S-Hawk with the help of Kaku, who is nicknamed Usopp for now. We have Nami, Edison, Sanji facing off again, and Brook facing off against S-Shark. We have Hancock, who pretty much just blew up the entire area where Usopp, Lilith, and Frankie are. We already know what's going on with S-Bear because he's stuck with Lucci and Luffy. But S-Hawk is going after the weakest person first, and then we find out that, and not only that, but S-Snake crushes the head of Pythagoras. Just straight up curb stomps him. So for all we know, that could be the very end of Pythagoras and Shaka. Because after Shaka gets shot in the face, he's left laying in a pool of blood and also smoke coming out from his eye. So that's what's happening with them. Sentomaru is telling everyone to get ready to leave because a far worse threat is on its way to Egghead to completely Kakusap! Yo, CJ, that's his name. Kakusap! And at the same time, who's around to protect Robin? Robin is there with Atlas and Chopper. Chopper still has his Kung Fu point and his, I wouldn't say arm point, but also his monster point as well, because he can, in fact, control it, just as long as he doesn't use that same formula that Caesar told him that reduces him into a Benjamin Button deer. So, there's that. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see if the first person S-Hawk goes after is Chopper or Usopp. So maybe. But Sentomaru's telling everyone they gotta go because the Ohara incident times 10 is about to go down. Have we got to a point where Frankie gets his upgrade, or we have a ways to go? We're not there yet. You would think he would have gotten something after meeting Vegapunk, but Frankie is partially petrified with only the left side of his face, and the right side of his upper torso being the only thing that's uncovered right now. But Franky has not received any upgrades yet. He is literally the only person who does not have something new to use. At least Robin is on the same floor as Jinbei and Stussy, so all she has to do is just catch up with them, and then the odds tend to be a little bit better for them. But he really does need to get his own up. He really does need to get his. I really hope Vegapunk blesses Franky with a new upgrade before this Egghead arc is over, because Franky needs something. Sanji and Zoro got something during Onigashima. Nami even got a brand new upgrade to her climb attack with Zeus residing in there. Chopper kind of learned something new, but it has a side effect of reducing his size. Pretty much going through the same thing Luffy went through when he first started using Gear 3rd. Jinbei, he really hasn't shown anything new except for Fishman Karate Special Technique Demon Brick Fist. That's the newest one. Usopp hasn't shown anything new. Robin definitely showed her Demonio Fleur and Gigante Fleur and her Grand Jacuzzi Clutch. Still a god tier name for an attack. But Franky and Usopp are the only ones who really haven't gotten an upgrade. All he needs right now is Radical Beam, and all he has right now is Radical Beam, and Usopp also needs an upgrade. Let this man start to, have bouts of him using Observation Haki just a tad bit more. It first awakened back in Dressrosa, and we haven't seen it since. Then again, his life hasn't really been... Has his life been put in such a dire situation that it would cause his willpower to manifest Observation Haki again? It's been a while since his life has been in that situation. You would think, with him going up against Ulti and Page 1, and just how terrified he was, literally fighting for his life, that there would be moments where his observation would kind of, maybe subtly awaken every now and again. But no, so Usopp needs an upgrade, and Franky needs an upgrade. All I know is Oda had us. Oda had us in the palm of his... He always has us in the palm of his hand. Oda is not predictable. That's what makes his story so great. Because the moments like this where you got me walking away and sitting on my bed over what I see, and it's like, Oda, you did it again. Fire. Fire. Just like when Oda writes, you just see the words burning with power, with skill, with efficiency, with as if God came down and said, I want you to write. And it just turned into One Piece. That's how it is. It's just, this series is so good, but never in my wildest dreams did I think that York was going to be the traitor. Who predicted that Kanjuro was the traitor? I'm trying to remember. I think some people predicted that Kanjuro may have been the traitor. I can't remember who it was, but I think some of y'all... Some of y'all, I think, came up with the idea that Kanjuro may have been the traitor. I can't remember who predicted it, though. I can't remember. 10 out of 10 chapter? Yes. Automatic. Easily. Ohara Library? It might have been Ohara Library. It might have been. But overall, this was a fantastic chapter. I'm going to go ahead and call it a close, so that way I can get Jujutsu Kaisen started at exactly 1:30. There's still no... Or how's that? Library of Ohara. Do you mean Library of Ohara? Because that's Arthur. Arthur from the Library of Ohara. He does a lot of deep dives into the information from the SBS and stuff like that for One Piece. So you might mean Arthur from the Library of Ohara. But few people predicted Kanjuro. I can't take credit for that. But I'm going to go ahead and call it a close. This was a fantastic chapter. And the fact that we're not going on break after this revelation, especially a revelation that included information about Marie Joie, no less, and the events that led 3 months prior to what's happening now on Egghead. This is amazing. I can't wait to read the next chapter of One Piece. And during that time, I will be 31 years old in our next reaction. Oh, I can't wait. I just want to say thank you, everyone. The channel has grown so much larger. We are so close to 4,000 subscribers. Whether or not I reach 4,000 before my birthday, I'm just happy that it's reaching that number regardless. To everyone here, you mean the absolute world to me. Thank you for making this channel amazing. Thank you for all you do. My members, my moderators, my subscribers, and even the people who are watching me for the first time. Thank you. You make this job of mine worthwhile, and I always look forward to it. So to everyone here, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier, and maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. I can't believe York was a traitor!